Welcome today. Glad you're here. Want to be able to utilize some of our technology in order to show you some things that Texas Milesplit has done for us. I know there was some confusions and stuff on being able to use it. It is very user friendly, especially once you set up your first meet. So I'm going to go through the process here of setting up a meet that I'm going to run and use online registration for. All right. So our first thing is obviously to go to the Milesplit website. You will go into registration and you will go to set up a meet. Once you get there, you will log in to your Milesplit website. And at that point, you will go to set up a meet. If it asks if you're a first-time user, you would say yes, and it will take you through it. And so that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to hit yes, and I'm going to hit next. All right, at this stage, it's going to ask you what level. So let's say we're just going to run a high school meet. It already has the team name, so it's already assuming I am hosting. It is an invitational. I will choose that we're going to do a cross-country meet. At this point, I'm going to put the name of our meet. I'm just going to name it CCCAT Test Meet. I'm going to choose the date of the meet, so I just click here. If I click on the month there, it'll give me. So let's say we're going to run this in September. There it is. Let's say we're going to choose September 6th, and we're going to end on that same day. So I'll click here, hit September, and there's 6. It's going to ask for a venue search, and so we're going to run this, and it'll start populating. And it's basically just looking for your school. And if you'll just keep going, it'll eventually populate and it'll be there. And then you just want to hit the next key. Okay, here's where you want to add registration for free. Hit the next key. All right, then it wants to tell you, when do you want to start opening registration? Well, I want to go ahead and I want to start registering people, let's say on Friday. I always pick a couple of days before, just in case I think of something. And let's say I want to open those before coaches get to school. Then the most important thing is, when do you want to close registration? You can always go back in and change this. Our meet is on September 6th. Some like to go a day before to upload athletes. Some like to go a couple of days. So let's just go a couple of days. And let's say we're going to close it to give coaches plenty of time. And let's say we're going to go 9 p.m. Okay. Here it tells you what do you want to do. I always go with a high school cross-country meet. It does basic divisions, makes it easy. That way you don't miss anything. And it does this for me. So here's where a lot of people get confused. We use Hy-Tek to time our meets, and one thing that has to happen is we want to be able to name those and give them divisions. You do not have to create a separate gender. That is already figured in for you. So let's say we're going to go in here and we're going to click these 3. We're going to hit edit division, and let's say we want that to be the varsity. Okay. Some people like to put them in the order they're going to run them in. So we're going to run our varsity first. There's 1. Here it's high school. That's already done. And leave your verified times as optional. We want to just allow schools, don't allow clubs or individuals, but we do want to allow males and females. Okay? And when you do that, you have that one. Okay? So that's our varsity. But we have a JV division as well. So here we'll just put JV, and you could call it junior varsity. Here's where it's going to be a different division number on the software I'm using. It's going to be division 2. It'll still be high school, and for seat times will be optional. Want to do the same thing, allow schools, allow males and females, and then hit save. Okay? And then it'll ask you what do you want to do, standard events, and I'm going to just say standard events because they have a good idea of them, but we can always go in there and edit it. So here we're going to edit it for this one right here. It's thinking that the JV is going to run 2 miles, but that can be changed. We're going to call that the same. We're going to name that the same as this one, boys 5,000 meter run. Okay, so we're going to go here. We'll just call this boys 5,000 meter run. Okay, and that's males only, and we'll update the event. Okay, and you can see here's where you can if they're running a district meet, you can set that to 7, or if you're going to allow them to run 10 at an early, you can put the number that you're going to allow them to register for that division. So here's the girls. So let's say you were running, the JV girls are going to run 2 miles, but your varsity girls are going to run 5K. If you're in the smaller schools, obviously you'd want this to be a girls 2 mile as well. Okay. Once that is done and your events are set, then you hit done. And now you've got it situated. And like over here, you can see that there's 4 events, and that's if you had multiple divisions. But let's say you just wanted that to be of JV boys, and let's say the JV girls were running 2 miles. There you go, hit done, and they're ready to go. So once you have your division set up, just hit complete, and it kind of gives you some information. Now, you're nearly done. You want to go here and you want to hit Meet Manager, and then it kind of goes through all your setup stuff here. One thing is if you're going to do live results using Milesplit, in here there has to be a licensed timer. So one that I know that's one of our sponsors is Cowtown Timing, and all you do is just type him in, and there's that one. There's your information would show up here. If you wanted it to be an invite only, then you would sit here and go invite only. If you wanted to send a password, you could create a password for them to enter your meet and email that to only the ones you want. Invite only seems to be the best one. So if you're going to limit it to 8 teams and you know who they are, click Manage Invites. And then all you start doing is starting to populate right here. You could start typing in the school names, holiday, and once you click there, you could want to send an invite to them. You can just you'll add the team, and they'll show up down here, and you can just start typing them all in and send invites. But if you didn't want to do that, if you didn't want to set up invite only, like I said, I haven't saved anything there. If it's an open one, you just don't choose, just leave it open entry to public. If you're going to allow B and C teams, it allows you to. There's where you can adjust the entry open and the entry deadline. We want to make sure that we choose high school, since we're doing a high school. If it's a middle school meet, we'll do this. If it's an open event, we'll do this. It would let you do multiple, so you could do everything if you needed to. If you're running a one-day meet with everybody. With us, with schools, clubs is depending if it's a club event or if you're going to allow unattached individuals. You click here. Other than that, you'll just scroll down. Don't worry about that. You could add the pay online stuff. I've never done that. And if it's your first time out, then you kind of don't want to mess with that. When you get to this part right here, one thing that I do is I have my letter. I copy and paste that from Word, and I put it in here, and then I save the changes. And whenever people pull up the calendar, you're just going to show up in the meet info. So I'm going to go ahead and just go down here to the bottom. I would tell it to save changes, and then now I'm ready to go. One thing I will tell you, I don't know on Meet Pro or any of the other softwares, but in order to do live results using Hy-Tek, you do have to have the multi-user mode, and I'll go into that in our next segment. But now if I go into calendar and I go to outdoor track, or to cross country, I'm sorry, and I look on 8/6, usually it doesn't take too long. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 9/6. You will see that I have, it'll kind of start putting meets here. They do have to be approved by them, but this is where you would normally see it. But you can also come here at the very beginning, and just so you know if it's at Burke Burnett, you can do a search and it'll pull up all the meets that are doing at Burke Burnett. And like I said, we're still waiting on Milesplit to approve that meet for 9/6, but the meet would basically, if you're looking at your stuff, here's one that I already have already done. I'll show you where the information page is. That's what would look like on your info page, and I did that. You'll have a meet manager section, and you can see that's what this is. It's the same thing, but I put my information there as well. Yes, it would generate your QR code right here for your live results, something that you could print out. But like right now, there's nothing there because we don't have any things in there. But other than that, that is how you would set up a meet using Milesplit. Thank you. All right, today we're going to continue with our advancement on Milesplit as far as uploading entries into your software platform. The software platform I use is Hy-Tek. I know there are several others out there. Meet Pro, which is one that Milesplit can do. They have information on doing that. This will help you with what we do with Hy-Tek, which is kind of the most popular one. All right, so right here I have Hy-Tek open. Obviously right here it tells me that I have no database open right there. Databases you either create, or if you know somebody that's very well versed, they can send them to you. I have so many done, so I could do that. Here you can see that I have a database right here that I sent to myself. It's that CCCAT test. Named it as the one that I have previously talked about. So what you want to do is you want to download it. It'll put it in your download folder. Then what you need to do, this is where it gets a little iffy. It formats that download as a zip file. So here I'm going to go right here to file, and then I want to unzip the file. And that zip file is in my downloads folder. There it is. All I got to do is double click it. And this prompt pops up and you just say yes and hit OK. What that prompt told you is that that file is unzipped, but it put it in a temporary folder that's found on your C drive. So right now I'm going to go to Open New. And this is where it's looking, but if you remember, it'll tell you that it's in the C drive, and that temporary folder is known as the zip temp folder right here. And if you open it, there's that file. You cannot open a zip file just directly, but you have to go through this process. So you can just highlight that and hit open, or double click this and this pops up. Leave it like this for right now, and all you do is hit OK. Don't have to hit any buttons. At that point, it is now open. We have a database here, but it is still in the zip temp folder. We want to take it out of there and put it in the C drive, but it's your folder for your meet. So we will go to File, Save As, and instead of the zip temp file, we want to go to this PC, the C drive, and go to your TF Meets 6 file. And that file is created whenever you upload or you download Hy-Tek onto your laptop or your desktop. This prompt pops back up, you just hit OK, but now it tells you that it's in the folder. Okay. The reason you want to move it is if you unzipped another one, it would delete it from the zip temp folder. It's just a temporary folder. All right, so at this point I have a database that's open, I've already gone in and I've set the events for this meet. I have I got varsity meets, and we want to just take care of our stuff and upload stuff. So I'm starting with this, knowing that I'm going to have some exceptions to the report, because I want to go through those and show you how to fix all those. Okay, so at this time I have a database that, let's say somebody sent me and it's set up like this with those divisions. Now, how were those divisions created? Under Setup, Divisions and Region Names, you go to Divisions, and there they are. If you wanted to delete them, you would double click here and it would ask you. If you need to edit them, you would click there and you could edit them. They are numbered, division number 1, 2, 3, and I'll show you their importance here in a second. So this is set up. Here are your events. If you wanted to edit an event, you just double click on it and there you could set it up and all this stuff. Okay. You usually don't have to mess with anything. This is a 5K. It is the Division 2. It's a varsity boys race, and that's what it reads it as. Okay. Now, I did this on purpose in order for you to be able to fix stuff. If I go now to Milesplit, and I'm going to use a past meet from last year. I'm going to go to cross country because I know it has entries in it. And I'm going to go to 2023. And this is just for today's sake. And then I'm going to search Burke Burnett. And so you have this access, and it shows all my meets. I'm going to use my cross-country jamboree right here. Okay. And so when I click that one, and so on yours, you'll see it in the calendar. You'll double click it. You'll see this information right here. I've already set the registration close. I showed you how to do that yesterday on the other video. But I'm going to click on Meet Manager, and I'm going to sit here, and right now I'm like, shoot, I'm ready to go. I've got this meet set up, and I'm going to download entries. All right, so I'll click download entries there. This pops up. I'm going to go over here. So if you were using Meet Pro or Race Tab or any of these would be your downloads. I'm using Hy-Tek. I don't want to do the full roster. Okay, I just want to go to download the Hy-Tek, and then I want to do athletes and entries. And it does the download. It's a CSV file. So at this juncture, I'm going to go back to my Hy-Tek. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Import, and I want to do semicolon delimited roster entries. And then it pulls this up. And here's our file. And all you have to do is double click it. This prompt will pop up. You will always say no. And then you will go through here. And you can see I got 18 teams, 274 athletes, and 147 entries, but it's not ready because look what I got. I got some exceptions. And that means it's not clean. So I'm going to hit OK. It's going to produce and it's telling me that I've got an issue with the 5,000, this, it's got another page of them, so it's got a lot of exceptions. So when you see this, that means the divisions between your Hy-Tek here, these divisions do not jive with what you have on Milesplit. And I'll go to divisions here, and you can see automatically that the divisions here are named differently, and they're named differently. Okay, so if I wanted to fix this, I've got to go through all this stuff, and one of the major things, I'm going to fix this stuff, and I'm going to show you how to fix all this stuff. So I've got this. The easiest thing for me to do is to go back into Hy-Tek and change those divisions. So I am going to edit this one, okay, and number 1 was the 5A, 6A, and I'm just going to call it the same thing, 5A, 6A and hit OK. Number 2 is supposed to be 1A through 4A. And this is taken into consideration that those are boys and girls races. And then the last one was not a middle school, it was a JV race. So I'm going to change these to JV. Okay. So now these should jive. One should be here, 4A and here. Now, how do I know if those numbers are correct and those names are correct? I'll go back here. I see the numbers. Number 1 was 5A, 6A. Number 2 was 1A, 4A, and number 3 is junior varsity. If for some reason you need to change these numbers, all you do is click on the division on Milesplit. It will eventually pop up a page. And here's where you would change the number. And that's where it tells you if using Hy-Tek. Okay. If you change that number, you would scroll all the way to the bottom and then hit Save Changes right here. I hit it anyway, but there's no changes made. Okay. So at this time, I'm going to say, okay, well, I think I've got it down. I'll download entries again. I'll make a new download because we've changed some things. All I'm going to do now is go over here. And if you remember, we have some schools and but remember we've changed some numbers and divisions. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of what I downloaded. So we're going to purge, and that's File, then Purge, and you're going to remove data selectively. A lot of people panic when they see this. You're going to click the Teams button right here in the middle and hit OK. That prompt just is there. You'll hit OK again, and then you'll hit OK again. So now you'll see that now there's nothing there. We call that a clean database. And I'm going to do a re-import. File, Import, semicolon delimited. And I'm going to do this download, which is the new download. I'm going to hit No again. And we're still here with 127 exceptions. So now you're sitting here going, well, why did that happen? Okay. And if you look here, it's event name 3 and 5,000. So there's something that's not named correctly. Okay. So we're going to go in here to our events, and we're going to look at each event. And you can see that for 5A, 6A, it's got the girls running 3,200 meters, and that's supposed to be 5K, 5,000 meters. And so I would hit OK. And then if you look here, you got the boys, 5A, 6A, they're running 5,000. The girls are running at 3,200, and the boys are 5,000. The girls are 3,200. Oh, and this one. So that might have been the issue. So I don't have to do a re-download because this had an issue right here. And I fixed it on Hy-Tek. So what I would do is close out. I would purge again. And go this route. So I would then do a re-import. Oops, wrong one. File, Import, semicolon delimited. And I'm going to choose the same one I chose. I'm going to hit No. Hey, that helped a little bit because now we're at 90. So that helped the fix. But now we're going to come over here and look, and we've got event 3 and something with the 5K, 5,000. There's something that's not coming across. So we'll come over here and we'll minimize. We'll go over here to Hy-Tek, and we're going to go to our divisions, and we're going to see if there's something not jiving between the two. And I apologize for the slow internet. Slow. Okay. So now we're here, and remember, there's something going on. So here's our divisions, but if you look over here, you'll see that there's events for that one. So we want to make sure that those are worded and named the same thing as what we have on Hy-Tek. So you'll see here it's 1A, 4A varsity boys, 5,000 meter, 1A, 4A girls, 3,200 meter. So that looks okay. All right, so I'm just going to hit the back key. And I'm going to look at our divisions now and make sure that that lines out okay. And our events, like I said, they're going to show up and that they're named okay. All right. If you look here, there's our 1A, 4A, and it's a 5,000 meter run. And we want to make sure that that says 5,000 meter. And here's one of our problems. Notice this event code. It says a 3-point mile run. And that's where we see a lot of them. So we want to make sure we click on that pull down. And these are numerical. And we're just looking for the one that says 5,000 meter run. And just kind of keep going. You got to kind of look for it. But you will find the one that says, 5,000 meter run. So now this matches and this matches. And you make a change, you hit save changes. Okay. All right. So now we'll go back to our divisions. And we're going to check our 5A, 6A. Okay. And we'll go to events in the 5A, 6A. And it says 5,000 meter run there. So we're going to double check that one and make that one says 5,000 meter run. And we'll go back to divisions and we're going to check our 1A, 4A events. And we're going to make sure that that says 5,000 meter run. And then we're going to go to events again. And we're going to go down there and check these boys and make sure this one says 5,000 meter run and 5,000 meter run there as well. Okay. Now at this point we've made some changes on the Milesplit. So we're going to go ahead and download a new entries. We're going to download the Hy-Tek and we're going to do athletes and entries. Again, there's our new, we'll go now to Hy-Tek. We're going to go to file. We're going to make sure we purge. I think I did already, but we'll do it again. And we're not going to panic too much. And now we're going to go to file. We're going to do the same thing. Import, semicolon. Now we're going to do the one we just downloaded. We're going to hit no. And now we've only got a few. Okay, so we've narrowed it down. We're narrowing it down. And I already knew that I was going to have these on purpose. I see these, Caden Akers. It's a 5,000. All of these names are boys. So I know I am missing something over here. So I'm going to go to my divisions. I'm going to go to this 5A, 6A. And then I'm going to hit events. I'm going to check those 5A, 6A girls and make sure that there says 5,000. I'm going to go back to events. I'm going to check those JV boys, or that 1A, 4A boys, make sure that says 5,000. I'm going to go to these JV boys and make sure they say 5,000, okay? And they all seem to say that, and I'm going to check one more. I'm going to make sure one of these girls' events doesn't say their 3,200 meter run, okay? I'm going to go over here and check and make sure that the girls' events are set for 3,200 meters, 3,200, and that this one is set for 3,200, and it is. And then I come over here and I look, and there's my JV boys, and it says 3,200. We're going to go to 5K now, because that's what it's supposed to be. And like I said, I've done these on purpose to kind of show you how to go through fixing things. If everything's aligned at the very beginning, you will not have these issues. So I'm going to purge again. I don't need to do a new download since I didn't make any changes on Milesplit. So I'm going to file, I'm going to import, and I'm going to do semicolon delimited. I'm going to hit the one that we just did. I'm going to hit no. And as you see now, I've got 274 athletes, and now I'll hit OK. And then at that point, we've got everybody in. Your next thing would be to go into events. Oh, sorry. Is to go to athletes. And what you're going to do is you're going to number them. That's their bib numbers for you. That's very easy. You hit comp number. So you'll go into athletes one more time. Athletes. You'll go to competitor number. Don't have to do anything. Everything is kind of by default. If your bibs are starting at 1, you start there. If you've got bibs left over and you have from 401 or 420 on up, you can change that number and it'll increment them up. And you don't do anything here, and it works out great. So you go competitor number, and let's just say we got a brand new set. We'll start at 1. It'll do okay, and it'll ask you, and it tells you that it can't be reversed, and they lie. You can always redo them, and there's their competitor numbers. That would be the bib number that you would give them. And that concludes going from Milesplit with some issues. But once you get them lined out, then you'll be good for the next year, because all you'll have to do is clone. But that was me going from here, fixing stuff here, and editing and fixing stuff on this platform software that's Hy-Tek. Hope that helped. Thank you again.